His love life is talked about all over the internet. He was on Dancing with the Stars, despite not being able to dance. He once wrangled a kangaroo with his bare hands.
I did what?
He's your favorite reality TV fuckboy reformed. He can make a woman fall in love at first sight. He is Harry Jowsey, boyfriend material.
Okay. Does it sound good?
This is hilarious.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, you look like a Sith Lord.
Sith Lord. Oh my god. Wow. Hi guys. Welcome back to Boyfriend Material. I am broken material today. I am so hungover. I literally just got off a flight from New York and came straight home. I didn't sleep while I slept on the flight, but I came straight here. I sat down. I gotta tell you what the fuck happened in New York. It was crazy. It was really nuts. First off, I was there with Tinder. Shout out to the Tinder team. They were awesome. We had so much fun. We're there for a green flag event. I don't know, again, why was I there? I don't know, but I think they were trying to turn me into a green flag. And I did learn a lot. We had dating experts there, people going through my Tinder bio. It was really cool. It was really nice. But the problem with that was I'm at an event. I have to speak and talk about dating. And I was like, maybe I'll just have a drink to make myself like chill out a little bit because there's a lot of like important people here. The problem with that is one drink turns to another one and then another one and another one. And my flight was at I had to be up at 4 a.m., which is silly. So I told myself, I'm going home at 11. I'm going to get a good night's sleep and I'm going to hit the ground running so we can record this episode amazing today. But the problem was I started drinking a little bit too much. Then my friends came. I started feeling a little bit sexy. And then shit started to go downhill. So this event, there was so many important people there. I actually met Silvana Mojita. I don't know how to say her last name. But I met her. And she said that we've met before. And I was like, when? I've never met you. I'm so sorry. She said, I met you at 11. You were a fucking tool. So I guess a couple of years ago when I was in Miami with my friends, I was a little bit too drunk. Maybe I was getting a little bit too crazy at my table. And I met her. So Silvana, I'm really sorry. I know we actually, I feel like we could be friends now because we had so much fun in New York. But after this Tinder event, our group, we all go to this bar, have a few drinks. Things started to like escalate a little bit. And then they tell me we're going to this club. I don't want to say the name because they're probably going to sue me once we talk about this because I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it. Like there's no phones allowed, whatever else. But essentially this club is like a live sex show, but not like sex. Like weird, freaky shit is going on. Like one of my friends told me, he's like, hey, if you ever go to this place, do not sit in the front row. You'll get covered in poop. Like I swear to God, that was the first warning that I had. And all my friends from New York and my friends in London, they tell me like this place is awesome. Like this place is crazy. There's always like crazy things going on. There's always crazy people there. And it's always like the best time. I went there and got absolutely like disgusted. Like I have never felt so off. Like I think I can put up with a lot of things. A lot of things don't really make me uncomfortable. But what I fucking saw made me so uncomfortable. It was insane. So they have like 2 shows of the night. So there's a first show a little bit earlier on, and then the second show gets a little bit wild. And I didn't think anything of it. There was like, ladies coming out doing their little dancing, and they had like hearts on their nipples, and it was like fun, like burlesque type stuff. They came out doing their little thing. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't too bad. My friends were saying that you're gonna get covered in poop. No, not at all. And then shit hits the fan. Then shit goes downhill so quick. This incredibly talented lady comes out fully naked. No, she wasn't. She was wearing a fruit. She had a fruit hat on, but fully naked. And she was doing a little dance. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Like everyone's like, no one's drinking, no one's doing anything. Everyone is just stopped and staring at this lady. And she starts pulling fruit off her hat, whatever else. She's got a blender. I'm like, oh, I wonder what the fuck she's going to make. This is so exciting. I would love a smoothie. Actually, I've got like tequila. I want to have a little healthier option. She starts pulling all this shit off her thing and putting it in her blender, whatever else. She pulls a banana off her fucking hat. And she puts it in her fucking vagina and starts jamming away until she squirts into the blender. I swear to God. And it wasn't like a little like someone poured a little bit of water out. It was like someone got a bucket and just like flipped it upside down. Like that is how much like just gushed out. And I remember just sitting there just like, what is going on? And that's not even the worst part of the situation. She's ripping stuff off. She's throwing grapes at people. She's throwing fruit everywhere. She just squirted like so much juice, human fluid into this thing. What does she do with it? She starts fucking drinking it. Like, and I'm like, you know what? I've been in freaky situations. I'll do freaky shit. And I would love to drink my girlfriend's squirt. Like, that's cool. But like seeing someone squirt on demand and then put it in a blender with fruit and whatever else and start drinking it, I felt so sick. And like, I would say like personally disgusted. Like I was just, and that's no shame. You can drink your squirts. That's fine. But like me personally, I was like, you know what? I don't know how I would feel about that. And the worst thing was she gets off the stage and starts walking around trying to give people some of her squirt smoothie. And that was the craziest shit because I was sitting there and my friend's like, Harry, are you going to throw up? I was like, yeah, I actually think I am. Like I legitimately, I'm like, I feel so off by what I've just seen and so disgusted. Now, you think that's bad? The second act was absolutely fucked. And my friend said, he's like, oh yeah, I've seen this one before. I'm like, what do you mean you've seen this? Like, why would you come back? This other one. So what happens is the curtains close, they open up, and then there's like a different act on, and people are doing different shit. And it's not really freaky. Like this one guy came out and he just started drinking everyone's tequila. And I'm like, I don't know if he's just like really drunk and having fun or he's a part of the show. One of my friends was like, no, he's a part of the show. But he was like stealing people's bottles and he would just smash whole bottles of tequila. And I thought that was kind of crazy. But then the curtains close again and then they open up. And I was looking away. I was like, I can't look at this anymore. She pulls a knife out. And this trigger warning, she puts it in her vagina. Logistically, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think that could be a real knife because that would hurt because she seemed fucking happy doing it. But she goes in and the same situation, squirt, but it's blood everywhere, all down her legs, all on the stage. I was sitting there so baffled and so confused. And my friend was like, oh yeah, she's done this before. I saw her here last week doing this. I'm like, what is she like, what is she doing down there? Like, you don't do that. Like, please. Like, I get that is a funky little kink for people, but like, God, it made me feel so sad and scared. I'm like, what is actually going on? And I was also a little bit drunk. I'm like, my vision was blurry. I'm like, I'm glad I am drunk because I don't really want to remember this. So yeah, she was going to town down there and blood like popped out. Legitimately, this is what I was thinking. I'm like, it's got to be a fake knife and she's got to have like a little like water sack of like fake blood in there. But even the visual was just like so overwhelming, like so crazy. So also like to set the scene a little bit with this club, like apparently like each table is like $10,000 minimum. And it's a very small club. And the vibe in it was kind of strange. Like everyone knew what they were in for. And it was like a funky, weird group of people. And I guess that was just us because we were weird. But like all the people at the front rows, apparently some of the tables there are like $100,000 tables. Like it's insane. I don't know how many nights a week this place is open. I don't know. I also like, how did you find people that want to do that? Like drink the squirt smoothie. Like I don't understand how you get cast for stuff like that. But also it's not like people were throwing money on stage or like throwing ones. That's what I was confused. I'm like, is someone going to tip these people? She just put a fucking knife in her pussy. Like what is going on here? Like this is absolutely bonkers. And then also on top of that, like the front rows, the front tables down there, like they are in the middle of it. They're getting covered in squirt. They're getting covered in fucking grapes and shit that's been in people's pussies. Like it was really wild. Like my friend's like, oh yeah, usually people come out and they just start having sex on the stage and everyone watches and stuff. I also got carried away because I kind of forgot what happened. And I went on stage at one point with my friend and we started like dancing. And then I remembered what just happened and what we just saw. And then I got off stage like super quick. But it was a really strange place. It was very small. I probably will never go back again. They're probably going to see this and I won't be able to get in. I'm going to have my face on the wall. But there's also like another one in London. But it reminded me of the time when I was 18 and I was backpacking through Europe. And I went to my first sex show in Amsterdam. Now, mind you, in Amsterdam, like at the time, like obviously weed's legal everywhere else. But that was the first place that I went to where weed was actually legal, and you could buy it at the stores. So I got so high. I was 18, and I hate weed. I never want to touch it again. I accidentally spiked myself one time 2 years ago, and that's a story for another day. But I was so high in Amsterdam, and we were backpacking. We were going through, like, we're on buses, this thing called Kentucky tours. And there was, for some reason, I did all this by myself. Like, I went to Europe by myself for 8 months, 18, which is kind of weird. I should have went with friends. But I made friends along the way. But there was this one girl on our bus that I was, like, madly in love with. And I really wanted to impress her. And I was, like, obsessed with her because, you know, she was 23, I was 18. She was studying to become a doctor. And I thought that was really cool. And I was doing nothing. I had long hair, like hair down to my nipples. On the bus, with this company, you can opt in for, like, extra things to do it. So, like, they had a thing like, yeah, if you guys want to come to the sex show, here's the tickets, and then pay for it. So it was pretty much like all our friends and a few, like, random people in there that weren't on the tour. It's like a little, like, theater. Everyone's watching the stage. The curtains will close, and then it'll open and just be, like, people just, like, fucking. And that's what I thought this thing was going to be like in New York. But anyway, so, like, the first show that I went to, this dude came out, the first one, the biggest cock I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, absolutely insane. Like, that thing could knock out a horse. Like, it was wild. And the thing that confused me about that situation was, like, him and this lady were just having sex. And he was, like, looking in the crowd, like, pointing at people and stuff, and just, like, staring at girls. And he would just, like, point at them. I'm like, don't hurt these people. Like, the poor lady that's in front of you that has to deal with this. And the thing is, it wasn't even long. It was like, the curtains would close. They'd be on a spinning bed for, like, 5 minutes. And he's just hitting doggy and then pointing at people. And then the curtains would close again. And they wouldn't be there. So I'm like, how is his recovery, like, so quick? Like, or his revive? Like, I don't know how he would be able to do it. Like, quick, get hard, get on stage, put it in, bang, 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 5 minutes, and then go. Like, really interesting. But anyway, the reason why I bring this story up is because I had a similar situation with the banana squirt on this first trip. And it really did take me back to when I was 18 and when I was at the sex show. So blazed, so high out of my mind. And we see this lady come on stage. Oh, actually, just before this other lady put a pen in her vagina and wrote on my friend's chest, which was really interesting. And it was a weird thing to see when you're high at 18 as well. Very bizarre. But anyway, this lady comes out on stage and she picks a few guys to come up. And for some reason, she picks me. I went on stage with this lady. And we're doing a conga line. And we're having fun. You know, I'm high. I'm enjoying it. I'm, like, giggling. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Until I feel these massive fucking hands on my hips. And I look down and they're hairy. I'm like, what is going on? Why is there hairy hands on me? And I turn around and it's this fucking huge gorilla suit. Some dude in a massive gorilla suit. We all, like, do a conga line and I'm really confused because the gorilla suit was fine. That wasn't scary. But the 9-inch fucking dildo attached to the gorilla suit was terrifying. And it was squirting. This dude had a pump and he could make it, like, jizz everywhere. So anyway, we're doing the conga line. She sits us down and she goes, okay, I have a banana. I'm going to put it, it was not even her accent. I'm just going to do my normal accent. I've got a banana. I'm going to put it in my vagina. If you want to eat it, you have to eat it. If you don't eat it, you got to suck the gorilla off. And I was like, this is not a good situation on either side of the coin. Like, can I opt out? Like, can I leave? Like, I'm so high. I've got munchies. I actually wouldn't mind the banana. I actually wouldn't mind eating that banana. I also don't want to suck off a gorilla. I don't think anyone does. Unless you're a gorilla, you know? Yeah, no one wants to suck a gorilla off. But anyway, she puts a banana in her vagina and she's laying there on stage, fully, like, legs like that. I'm 18, high as shit. I'm with my boys. The first one goes, eats the banana. The second one goes, eats a banana. Now, the problem is, they were chewing off so much fucking banana that by the time that I got there, it was just skin. It was just skin and vagina. So, of course, I'm not sucking the gorilla off. So I walk up, put my whole face in the fanny, and I eat the banana. The problem was the guy behind me that was after me, because there's only 4 guys. He had nothing. He had nothing to bite off. I'm pretty sure he started eating her out. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that story, But that was the first time I went to a sex show. It was very overwhelming, very overstimulating. I'll never on purpose go back to a sex show again, because it is just not for me. Like, I just felt a little bit funny about myself. You got to do it once, but just go with good people, and also don't be high. Maybe a little bit drunk so you don't remember it, but it was really strange. And I don't recommend that for anyone. Anyway, we should probably get into the episode. So all right, so the next game is if it looks like a red flag. And something that's a red flag in my life is I was just announced on season 2 of Perfect Match. And guys, you're going to get the exclusive behind the scenes, everything you need to know on this podcast. So if you want to know all the goss, all the tea, all the drama, make sure you subscribed or download. Make sure you're following us everywhere, because I'm going to give it to you guys. Shaken, stirred, creamed. Anyway, but there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of laughter, and there's a whole lot of love and a whole lot of cringy moments that I do on the show. But anyway, we're going to get to that later on because I want to do a full breakdown for you guys. So now we're going to go into if it looks like a red flag. You guys have been loving this segment. You've been putting your scenarios in on the website, which is iamunwell.boyfriendmaterial.com. Submit your situations and we can dissect it together and go through it. Situation number 1. He's really into astrology. You know what? For the ladies, I think that's a green flag. Just because, I got co-star, and I use that to try and, sometimes like break the barrier with some girls. Cause it's like a pretty easy way to like spark up conversations. Like actually, at the Tinder event in New York, damn, they're really getting a plug here. In New York, I was talking about astrology because I was on a speed date with this one girl. And she asked me what I was. And I was like, well, you want to guess? And then I'll just meet you in the middle. She's like, well, you can't change your star sign. I was like, well, I will, because being a Gemini is apparently the worst thing on the planet. But here's the thing. I don't mind it. I think it's interesting. I like learning about it. I think it's a green flag because why not? And we all see the stars. They're there. I just don't know anything about it. People say Gemini, we're two-faced. I just think I'm a different person when I'm hangry. Like I would get a little bit sassy. So like, yeah. I don't know how real it is. I also think that like when you look at some like astrology like breakdowns where they're like, oh yeah, this person Gemini, this is what they mean. I feel like if you go and read a different one and you can apply it to yourself. So I think they're kind of like broad statements. I'm sure there's probably real astrologists out there that are so specific and on the dot. But anytime I like Google stuff, I'm like, if I send this to my friend, they'll say that applies to them as well. And they're a Taurus. They're a tourist. Sometimes I'll Google if we're compatible with our star signs. And then I use that as like an icebreaker to try and like open up conversations and to try and get things moving, which I think is not a bad strategy. But, sometimes I just want to make sure that like the stars are aligned for us. And if it doesn't say what I want it to say, then I usually just tell everyone that it's bullshit and it doesn't work. But I actually don't know what star signs I usually date. I just know that I'm a Gemini. And I've just got a really random story. This one guy, this one time, my friend, who's a guy, was at a bar and he started flirting with this girl, and he's really into star signs. And his opening line to her was, "If my balls are feeling saggy, you must be a Saggy." And she was like, "How did you know? I'm a Sagittarius." So that's the only crazy story that I've like hard opener. I don't think that's going to work on everyone. It was just a really good guess. Or maybe he Googled who she was before. I don't know. Scenario number 2. He shaves his entire body. This is about me. So I think it's a beige flag. Here's the thing. I think, when I went to the dermatologist and got my skin cancer checked, I hadn't shaved my body in so long, and it really humbled me having someone look at my butthole without it being shaved and like beautiful and like clean and nice. So now I'm like super strict on making sure my legs are shaved, everything's like shaved, my arms are shaved, whatever else. The problem is like, I think it goes a little bit too far if you're like shaving to skin on your pecker, like on your saucy. Cause I just like, I don't want to stereotype, but like we're men, we should be a little bit hairy or like a little bit masculine. I think it's a beige flag. It depends. I've had friends and they're like, I will only date guys with hairy chests and like a beard and like hairy arms and hairy legs because that's what I want in a man. But I just personally I just feel like I have my life together when I'm shaved. Like when I don't have my legs shaved or my arms shaved, I legitimately think like I'm falling off. Like I have no discipline anymore. For me, it's like a discipline thing. I got to have my body shaved, but it really depends. Like, and it also makes your legs look bigger apparently. Cause I feel like when my leg hair grows out, my legs just look blurry and they kind of like disappear because it's just, there's so much hair and so little leg. Oh, I actually was going to wax myself before Perfect Match. But then I got really scared. I was just like, I don't want someone to put hot wax on my butthole. And like, why am I doing that? I'm doing it for myself. Like, just because I thought it was funny. I remember like convincing myself, like, this would be a good idea. This would be funny for content if I go and get my butthole waxed. And I didn't do it because I'm like, this is what you want me to film, this lady pouring hot wax on my asshole. What if I enjoy it? What if I really like that feeling? Then it's going to be a weird video because I'll just be smiling and I'm just weirded out. And also like, I can't feel the right side of my leg. So whenever I go to shave it or whatever else, it freaks me the fuck out because I can't feel it because I had knee surgery at 17 and all the nerves are damaged on the right side of my leg. So it really scares me. And I was really worried that if I get my legs waxed and I can't feel that, but I can see it and I know it's meant to hurt, it's going to freak my brain out. So I just never did it. I would love to be able to wax one day, but I'm just afraid. I'm afraid I'm going to pull off all my skin. And then I'm just going to be bleeding. You know, I saw, was it a 40-year-old virgin where they waxed his nipples and they're bleeding. Like, I don't want to have bleeding nipples. Like, that's kind of gross. You know, nipples of a milk. What? Okay. Sorry. Okay, so the producers of this show just told me that they want me to get my butthole waxed. So I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you want me to film me getting my brown eye waxed. I don't know if I can put it on Instagram. But I don't know if we're going to do a close-up. We can just get my face. I'll do it if you guys want me to do it. Also, speaking of, well, not even speaking of that, but just another thought. The giveaway. It's happening on my birthday, May 24th. Make sure you're following Boyfriend Material. Make sure you're following me. I'm going to post it on my birthday. We're going to give it away. And we're going to give away one item every single week. I know it's been a bit of a, like, you know, a little bit of hype for it, and then nothing happened. We just didn't want to get sued. We just didn't want to do it the wrong way. So it's coming on my birthday, my little birthday treat to you guys. We're going to give away one piece every week. Maybe I'll buy more. Who knows? Depends how well it goes. Depends if you like it. So again, let us know. Drop a diamond. Okay, back to red flag. I've been in I've been in a relationship with a guy for 7 months now, and he still won't commit. I'm 23 and he's 31. We hang out every week, and he makes me feel so special. But then won't answer me for days on end. Is it a red flag? Should I leave him? What should I do? That's a red flag. He's definitely got a wife and kids. 100%. 31 years old. He won't respond to you for days on end. He has a wife and kids. What are you talking about? 7 months. He is wasting your fucking time. Here's the problem with situations like this. Like, again, if you wanted to, he would. There's something going on behind the scenes that you don't know about, and I'm pretty sure it's a wife and kids. At 31, he probably should have a wife and kids, but also you don't have to have kids if you don't want to. But like, I feel like at 31, I would want to do that. That's completely irrelevant. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, I think red flag. Cut it off with this dude. 7 months. Like, here's my thing. If I'm seeing a girl for a month or two, she's my girlfriend. We got a date. 7 months of just dicking around and farting. That's not okay. Red flag. Go maybe snoop, see where his wife and kids are. Check him out on Facebook. He's probably got family portraits. Red flag. Leave the dude alone. Okay. That was it for red flag. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you keep submitting your questions or your scenarios at imunwell.boyfriendmaterial.com. So this next segment is rip from the headlines. And there's a lot of things that have been going on in pop culture. You know, we got Baby Reindeer. That was crazy. If you haven't watched that, definitely watch it. But I went to the Tom Brady roast. And that was absolutely nuts. I don't know if you guys have been like keeping up with things that have been said, but Nikki Glaser absolutely killed it. That was insane. I've actually put it in my dream journal that one day I want to get roasted, because I feel like it would be the worst thing for me, but it would be great for you guys. And everyone loves to laugh at me getting torn apart. So I feel like that would be hilarious. But there was also a bunch of things in there where I thought, you know, they're probably going a little bit too hard on his like family and like that type of stuff. Like all the jokes about his ex-wife was really hectic. I don't know how Tom is such a like stand-up bloke that he just like sat through all that stuff and just took it on the chin like a real champion. I did see an interview where he was talking about it after, and he was saying that like it has affected like his kids, and that's kind of what really upset him about that whole situation. But being in that room, also when Kim Kardashian came up, everyone was saying that she was getting booed. Guys, I was in the crowd. Everyone was cheering when she came up. Like everyone was so excited. Like it was a room full of like NFL fans and like sweaty men. And I think like they were so excited that she was there. I was watching a TikTok clip and everyone's like, yeah, Kim K gets booed, when that didn't happen. I think I have a video of it. Like everyone was like so excited that they were like cheering like crazy. I think she did a phenomenal job that she went on there and roasted everyone. So hopefully one day, fingers crossed, when hopefully I figure out my life and I get a good career going and I can continue to grow, one day that Netflix will put me up there and I'll get this shit roasted out of me. It's also kind of crazy because a lot of these people like don't have a personal relationship. They just got like hired to like roast Tom, which I thought was kind of wild. Like I'd probably prefer it if it was my friends, but I saw Nikki Glaser saying that like she'd never met him before, and she had to prepare these jokes, went on there, roasted him, tore him apart, and then after it he said thank you so much, best of luck with your career or something like that, which is pretty much just like a gentle like fuck you, which is fair enough. Like that would be fucking terrifying. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy after that. I would legitimately, if that was me, I'd probably have to go and sit and like decompress for like a week and be off the internet, because yeah, seeing everyone rip apart your like marriage and everything like that is no good. So before that roast, guys, Tom Brady actually posted me on his story, which is really crazy because, let me see if I can find it. Tom's team hit me up and said, hey, can you roast Tom? Post a story like roasting Tom. I don't watch football. I don't know anything about football. I don't know anything about NFL or anything like that whatsoever. So I was like, okay, what can I say? Should I just say he's got a big forehead? And apparently that's not like that. Apparently that's a different player that's got a big forehead. So I edited a photo, but like I posted this.
Hey, I know we're doing a roast for you this weekend, but I feel like you need to have a separate roast
For your forehead.
Because that thing is a satellite dish.
So I don't know anything about Tom. And that was the thing. I know he's incredible. I know he's the GOAT, but I posted that. He posted me on his story, which is crazy. Like, does that make me cool? Then I reposted it because he said, the roast isn't until Sunday and the influence is already coming for my neck. Bro, that was coming for the forehead. And then I'm in his DMs, guys. He's seen when I tagged him on another story. How fucking crazy is that? Tom Brady knows I'm a human. All I know is that he's the greatest football player of all time, and he's a stand-up dude. He's also so beautiful. Watching him at the roast, I'm like, if I could be half the man of this guy, I would probably be a good man. And probably be good at sports, but I'm just a waste of a tall human. In Australia, like NFL is not really like a big thing because we like rugby is like religion back home in Australia. But I thought I was good at rugby. I thought I was good at sports because I was so tall, but I was actually built like a chopstick. Like I was so skinny and lanky and whatever else. And when I got kicked out of school in Australia and I went to school in New Zealand, again, thinking I'm good at rugby, thinking I'm the man, I'm dog shit. I go to New Zealand and all the boys are like islanders and just like tanks and fucking absolutely terrifying humans to run at because they just drop you. And I end up getting my ACL snapped, and I had to get a knee reconstruction. But the weirdest thing with the ACL, when you break your ACL, is it's the ligament that connects your thigh to your leg. Yeah, your calf. So once that snaps, your knee kind of like slips off your leg. And so I didn't know it was full of adrenaline. And I got hit and I was trying to like stand up. My knee kept slipping off my leg, so I kept falling over and I didn't know what was going on. And my dad pretty much called me a pussy. He's like, get out there, keep playing. I was like, Dad, I don't know. My leg's a little bit funny. And then it's swelled up. And then I had to get surgery on it. And they said you're not allowed to run for like 6 months, and especially play sports. But I take that shit up and I started playing rugby after 5 months, and which the surgeon wasn't happy about. But I'm still shit at rugby, and it's really scary. Okay, sorry I got hot. Just had to put on my favorite shirt. For audio listeners, the shirt says, I love hot mums. And I do. I love my mummies. They're the best. And I love my mum. She's awesome. I miss her. So yeah, that was crazy to see the roast. And I went on a bit of a random tangent there about my knee. I don't know why I did that. But in the roast, you know, they absolutely tore apart his like ex-wife and that whole situation. So that brings us to our next segment where we tear apart your relationships with dating, sex, and relationship advice. Now, it's not necessarily good advice. I don't know if I'd listen to me giving this advice, but I hope that you get something good out of it. So the first question is from Jordan. She says, "Hey, honey." Hey. I just got out of a 7-year relationship and I'm trying to have a hot girl summer, but I want to keep it classy. LOL. I don't want to be labeled as a whore. Whoa. But I want to have a good time doing whatever I want and whoever I want. Guys hit on me, but I'm not always sure about what to say or how to keep the conversation going. I've been out of the game for too long. LOL. Any tips or advice to have a classy hot girl summer? Look, we love our hot girls and we love our summers. Just make sure you're wearing sunscreen because the sun in summer will get you. And you don't want to have to deal with these problems that I've got to deal with now. But here's the thing. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't worry about anyone labeling you, whatever else. It's how you feel and what you should feel. If your friends are labeling if your friends are labeling you as a whore, they're not good friends. They should chill the fuck out and they should enjoy life a little bit more. At the end of the day, we only got one life. YOLO. Go have fun. Enjoy yourself, you know. And also, you just got out of a 7-year relationship. So I think whatever you do is going to be classy. Like, you're going to be fine. My advice for hot girl summer is go somewhere where it's a new experience, like maybe Mexico or London or, well, that's a big trip. But like just go to a new city and experience new people. Because I think the problem with like being worried about being labeled in that way is it's usually like your hometown people that are like, oh, did you hear about this or whatever else? Like, go on a hot girl trip somewhere with your friends and go have fun and enjoy it, have new experiences, have a few drinks. Go have a hot girl summer. Go travel with your friends. Go have fun. Get your best girlfriend. Go out there, get a sexy little dress, make yourself feel good. And, you know, I don't want to drink ever again and I want to be sober for the rest of my life. But, you know, a good way to do a little icebreaker is just have a little drink, feel yourself get a little bit sexy and just live in the moment. Who cares? You know, I think the best thing about having good energy is people get attracted to that good energy and people want to come talk to you and start conversations. And I just think all you got to do is listen to each other and just build off whatever that person's saying, like bounce off that idea. You can even talk about this podcast. Be like, hey, did you know Harry has a podcast and he spoke about this? And what's your favorite podcast? What do you like to listen to? Do you watch horror movies? I only watch comedy movies because I'm afraid of fucking everything. So I hope that helped, my love. Jordan, you little sweetheart. The next one is from Lauren. Harry, my boyfriend cleans off his plunger after he uses it. What? Cleans off his plunger? Like toilet plunger? As in, he uses his bare hands and takes toilet paper to wipe off the plunger before storing it on the ground. There is no container for it. It's a plunger raw dogging the floor. How do I tell him that that's gross? Did you write this? Because I've got a plunger on the floor. No. In there. You guys wrote this.
No.
Wait, like this, please. How do I tell him it's gross? Like, please help. And then you sent me your phone number if you want me to talk through this. Lauren, that's a very specific thing to be upset about, that he cleans his plunger and leaves it on the floor. I have my plunger on the floor. I do have another one that does have a case for it, but Riley actually gifted me one at the end of Dance with the Stars. So I kind of it's just on the floor. I don't think it's a big deal as long as it's like clean. I just think this isn't really a big deal. Like, you know, if he had his dirty undies and stuff everywhere, or like he peed on the floor, that would be like a horrible like hygiene situation. Here's a good idea. Why don't you get the case for it, or like buy a case for it and then put it in it? So then he will just be tricked and he'll be like, oh wait, maybe it does live in here, or I should do it in there. I don't know why he's cleaning with his hands. That's also strange, but also like, how many times are you plunging your toilet? Like, why has this become a problem for you guys? Lauren, I think that, I don't think this is a big deal. I think just buy a little case for it. I think it's all is going to be okay. If that's your biggest problem with your boyfriend, I think you're doing really well, my love. The next one is from Jesse. Me and my boyfriend recently broke up. I'm okay because it was a very toxic situation. But the whole relationship, he would call me a whore and say I was ran through. What? I've slept with 11 people and I'm 24 years old, and 4 of them were boyfriends. He would tell me no guy would ever want me because I'm such a slut. He brought this up all the time. So much now that it's all I can think about. Harry, I'm scared. Is 11 a high body count? No, Jesse. What are you saying? This is a horrible human. You don't say that. It's also like, is your girlfriend? Like, what is this guy has just got problems, and that's on him. 11 is not high at all. If you knew my number, you would be very worried. I wish mine was 11. It doesn't matter. I feel like the thing is, when you're dating someone, they shouldn't be worried about shit that's happened before you. Like, that was, like, I've been 100 different versions of myself, and I feel like the lives I've lived before, where I'm at right now, has built me into the person that I am. And I think that he should literally just shut the fuck up, because there's not a high body count. Also, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares? It just sounds like a toxic person. It sounds like he's very insecure and he's very worried about things. So I'm glad that situation is done. Please don't beat yourself up about it, because it's not a big deal. It really isn't. And also, it's like no one's fucking business. Like, if you're dating someone, you guys should be in the moment and present, because something brought you guys together, and you guys should love each other and care for the person that's in front of you, not the person that they may have been before you. And that's the thing. I'm not even saying 11's a bad thing. 11 is beautiful and respected. That's incredible, and you should be very proud of yourself. It's not a big deal. And also, 4 of them are boyfriends. Who cares? This guy just sounds like a sausage, and I think that I'm proud of you for leaving it. And also, just don't worry about it. Like, go sleep with 11 more people and just have fun and live in the moment, because life's so short. And if you're around people that are going to try and tear you down for something that you aren't even, I just think it says a lot about him and nothing about you. So, Jesse, take a deep breath, go hook up with more people and just have fun, because it's really not a big deal. All right, next one is from Ash. Hi, Ash. Harry, we love you. Question, my boyfriend, who I love, busts really quickly. I enjoy having sex with him, but I just want more of it. For it to last longer, what can I do? Okay, this is a big situation. And, I've been in a situation where, half a second Harry has come out, just been too excited. The number one thing I think that I do to myself when I feel like I'm getting a little bit too close is I stop operations. I pull out, I go down on her, and I take care of her and like slow the whole thing down. I'm not sure if you guys are wearing protection, but you should, because that also kind of like desensitizes it a little bit. But also there's like sprays you can get if you want to, like if it is actually like a really big problem, you can get sprays and you can slow things down. But also another thing that you could do is both do a little bit of foreplay before it. And if you bust from head, then be like, okay, but we're still going to have sex, because that's my thing. If I bust from head, I'm going to sit there and get so angry that I didn't get the job done. So I'm going to want to have sex. So I just think I'm always a second round champion. Like, that's where it really comes to life. So I think that's maybe what you should prioritize. Make sure that you have sex, maybe not at the end of the day, like not at nighttime, because you'll probably just fall asleep, but try and get like a couple rounds in, because it's always the second round that's great. And I think also when you love someone as well, you kind of necessarily like always bust a little bit quicker. Like, you both just love being together and being in that moment. And I've been in relationships where I've loved someone so much that like I just get so turned on and excited by them that I end up shooting my load a little bit too quickly, but it does make me very angry. So I try and get the job done a second time. I hope that helps. I really think that like if he's getting close to busting, he should stop, go down on you, take a little bit more care of you, make sure you're good, because then once you're good, he can be all good, and then everyone's coming and everyone's happy. Hope that helps. Okay, question number 5 from Macy. Harry, I caught feelings for one of my best friend's boyfriend. Oh no, Macy. And it seems like he may have some feelings for me too. What should I do? SOS. Macy, this is a really tricky one. This is really tough. The problem is, in that situation, like, you're going to ruin 2 relationships. You're going to ruin their relationship and your relationship with your friend. I think you should really distance yourself from this guy. If you really love your friend and you really care about your friendship, you really got to take a step back, because I'm sure her feelings are going to be up and she's going to feel like something's going on. If you aren't going to date this person, like, I don't think anyone should be a homewrecker. I don't agree with it. But also, if your heart's telling you one thing and you guys love each other, then, who am I to judge? If you do get involved in this situation, you should really understand what you're going to be losing in the process. You're going to lose a best friend. And also, if things don't work out with this guy, then you've ruined their relationship, you've lost him, and you've lost her. And that's not very good. Like, I just think that if he's a good dude, he'll stay to his girlfriend and he'll continue to be in that relationship. And also there's just so many fish in the sea. Maybe see if he's got any friends. It's just a tough situation. Like I really don't know what I would do in that, like if I love someone, but it's also like the grass is greener, but it's not. The grass is greener where you water it. So he just seems like a bit of a sausage, and he shouldn't be flirting with his girlfriend's best friend. I don't know if I would say anything to her, because it would maybe start a downward spiral and they may just end up breaking up because of it. I've been in the situation where I've been the boyfriend and one of my friends has slept with my girlfriend and they've started to see each other, whatever else. And it really does suck. Like that shit hurts, because now you're losing your best friend and then you lose the person that you love the most. And especially if they're happy and they go off into the sunset, like that really fucking hurts. It really does suck. Just, I would put yourself in her shoes. Like, how would that feel? Do we really want to do that? We don't. There's so much love and so much people in the world, and it's probably a way better person for you than your best friend's boyfriend. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to be honest. I just went and threw up. I have not been this hungover in a minute. I also didn't really sleep too much. I'm pretty sure I farted really loud on the plane, because I remember going in my sleep, like, I'm pretty sure that felt like it rumbled a little bit. Anyway, you don't need to know that. Who cares? The last one is from Haley. What's your favorite thing about your mum? Oh, this is a good question. And I love my mum. She's the best. You know what I love the most about my mum is her willpower and her strong energy to continue to push through and overcome. Like, my mom's gone through a lot in her life, and she's had to deal with a lot of shit, but she's also had to deal with, a lot of things not going her way. But I think the biggest thing about my mom is that makes me really proud of her is just everything that she's just overcome and like push through and continue to make herself happy and live a life that she wants to live, which is, I don't know, it just makes me really inspired and really proud, because, a lot of people have bad things going on in their life, and my mom has been through it. She's had a lot of shit that has been thrown her way, and the fact that she stuck it out, she raised 2 sons, she had, a happy, healthy family for as long as we did, was really incredible. And the things that she's had to overcome, like, it's not easy. I can't imagine raising 2 sons, especially me. I was a shithead. And then, my dad as well, like all of us, like 3 men around all the time, like her incredible energy to push through, persevere, continue to grow. And now she's retired and lives on her farm and just has a happy, healthy life. She just inspires me. Like, it's just incredible to see everything that she's gone through. And I know it's not easy. And I wish I could tell you guys kind of some of the stuff that's going on in her life, but I don't think she'd appreciate that. So, but just, her willingness to push through and to be, one of my biggest inspirations, and kind of my purpose for doing all this stuff is, like, I want to make her proud and I want to make sure I can take care of her. So, wow. Well, guys, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Got a little bit sentimental there at the end. I love my mom. If you want to submit your questions, you know what to do. boyfriendmaterial.iamunwell.com. Make sure you keep submitting. We'll keep answering. If you are loving the show, please give us 5 stars. I really appreciate you. I love seeing your story tags and everything like that. Make sure you follow the Boyfriend Material show, because we're going to be posting the giveaway on my birthday. But I kind of want to end episodes like, what did we learn today? Yeah, and as you guys know, we're learning. I'm learning with you. We're learning together. I'm actively pursuing becoming boyfriend material, and I'm hoping that, the scenarios that you guys submit, that we can grow together and we can learn from it. So a final thought from today's episode is just give yourself some grace. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't be worried about being labeled as one thing or the other. We're all living life for the first time ever, and we're all growing together. Give yourself grace. Don't worry about other people. Focus on yourself. Go do that hot girl summer. Go sleep with 11 more people. Go enjoy life, because that's why we're here. We got to enjoy it. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along with this journey with me. Make sure you subscribe to Boyfriend Material on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now. Please give us 5 stars, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me.